Last episode, I built an airship packed with contraptions, storage and workbenches, then put it in my pocket and killed a monkey. This time I take the workshop to our new project location, relocate some villagers, and build our first steam power plant. Before we can do much of anything though, I need to replenish my stock of granite and andesite because we're going to need them for our next build. So let's dive down into the mine, power up our mega drill and destroy the underworld. So let's just put this down here. We'll put it on the contraption briefly just to make sure that it's placing cobble, and it looks like it is. That's good. It's got plenty of rail and torches. I think we're good to go. And because of the sheer size of this thing, we should only need to run it for 5 to 10 minutes and get what we need. Although I probably should have sent it off that way. Look, that's what I need. Granite. Ooh, rare diamonds. I think that should be more than enough. Let's get all of this and take it back home. What's all of this? That's scoria. Ow! Oh, geez, there's loads of stuff here. Let's just leave that behind. Oh, jeez. Scared the life out of me. Let's just put a few torches up here, shall we? Let's see what we've got. There's a reasonable amount of granite. Oh, look at that. There's loads of granite. Yeah, we're going to be absolutely fine. So let's just quickly empty all this into our backpack, and then it'll be easier to put into storage. Oh, no. No. And we did quite well out of that. We've got loads of resources, but most importantly, we've got about 5,000 granite and almost 3,000 andesite, and that's going to be very handy for us. So let's grab this and go. So with the resource gathering done, I think we're actually good to go. So let's grab our airship. I don't think that's ever going to get old. And then we're going to wait for the train. Although, we need to go to Stone Valley, so 8 minutes. What have I done to myself? Although, instead of that, we could just take our really ugly little contraption train instead. Let's do that for now. And just as the sun sets, we've got here. I do love the landscape around here. Shame about the buildings. First things first, let's jump up here and survey the situation. In fact, I think I'm going to put my skyship up here because then we can stand on that and have a really good view of the area we're going to be working on. There we go. That's how they know their doom has arrived. I joke. We're not going to kill any of them.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
But from up here on deck, we've got a wonderful view. So the beauty of this is we've actually got a vast area to be working with. We've got the bit over here where all the villagers are, and we've got this bit on this side where the villagers aren't. However, I want to be building a power plant, and I think I want to put that fairly central, which means we're going to want to clear an area around here somewhere. Which means these smaller buildings here, they're mainly bounty boards by the looks of it, so that shouldn't upset too many people. And this house here, that's going to be a problem. And also that thing, whatever that is at the back. Is that a statue? But luckily that area doesn't seem to be too populated. I don't see any villagers milling around, which may or may not have something to do with how far away I am, but we'll see. But we definitely need to clear out an area, do a bit of landscaping, and prep the ground for a massive power station. So let's go see if there's any villagers in that area to relocate first. Anyone home? Well, it doesn't look like it. This is potentially a bakery or a food shop of some kind. But there doesn't seem to be too much of interest in here. So with that in mind, we may as well make our lives a little bit easier. Gonna make quick work of this. Off you go. I mean, the drill's not quite tall enough, but still, that's fine. But if we send the drill back that way, that should take care of the rest of the house. Right, well, that's one building gone. Now to take care of the rest of this area. I had a lovely relaxing evening last night just doing a bit of terraforming, breaking some blocks, and now we've got this lovely area down here. I've also sort of shaped the cliff down here as well just so it looks a little bit tidier, but that's an area that's probably much bigger than we currently need, but it kind of sets the tone for what we're going to be doing. But we'll end up with a few sort of terraced areas. There'll probably be another one here, there'll be another one down here, and so on as we go through the build. But for now, we're just going to work with this. But if we're going to build a power plant, I'm going to need to get myself lots and lots of create things. Because that's the one thing we didn't put on this boat is all of the create stuff. Because, well, it would just take up too many slots. Maybe I could, like, bring a backpack or something and have a create backpack. That might work. But either way, we don't have anything with us now. So we're going to head home again, grab everything we need, and hopefully build our first Uber power plant. And by Uber, I mean for once we're not actually using water wheels. Crazy, I know. So I've grabbed a bunch of things I'm going to need in order to be able to make this power plant, but there's one thing I still need, and that is some blaze burners, which means I need to break into here and get myself some blazes. So which one's the blaze spawner? This one! Go, 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 go! And then we can escape. that was actually quite painless. Excellent. And we've now got 35 blaze spawners in total, so that should be more than enough. And I think we're finally ready to head back and start this build. And thanks to our airship, I'm hoping we won't have to make this journey anymore today. So I'm back on the boat, but there's still some things I need to make, and I decided to make them here because, well, these machines actually run quicker than the ones in my starter base. And as we're making a steam-based power plant, I'm going to need lots and lots of copper sheets because I'm going to need a buttload of fluid tanks, and I also need to make lots of steam engines, which means I need golden sheets as well. And then I need to make a buttload of barrels, and then wrap those in copper sheets to get the fluid tanks. We're going to make 32 steam engines. It's going to be a big old power plant. We're going to need 32 mechanical pumps, and we're going to need a couple of mechanical arms as well. Oh no! I didn't bring any kelp, and I need to make more brass funnels. Ah! Right, now, where were we? Brass funnels. Yes, some of them, please. And I think we should now have everything we need for the power plant, apart from the foundation blocks. And for that, we're just going to make some tuff again, because we love using tuff for foundation blocks. And I don't know exactly how big this is going to need to be, so we're just going to have to wing it, I guess. Let's just start placing some blocks, build up the power plant a little bit, and we'll figure it out from there. So I'm hoping something around this sort of size is going to be big enough, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's get this platform filled in, and then we can start placing the actual power plant blocks. I think that should do nicely as the starting platform. So now we want to start building up the power plant here, and I do have a bit of a plan in my head, but we'll see how this goes. What we're going to do is have 16 blaze burners there, and then another 16 on this side. So a basic steam engine needs a few things. We need to give it heat, which we'll do via these blaze burners. It needs a tank to store water. It needs a way for water to get in there, so we're going to need pumps, and then you attach a steam engine to it like that. And once you attach a shaft on the end, you get this. This creates rotational power once it's all up and working. However, how much power it produces and how many of the steam engines you can apply to each tank depends on how much heat it's got, how big the tank is, and how much water it's got. So we could actually make these 3x3, but I think they're going to be a bit big for what I want to do sort of design-wise. I think the 2x2s are just going to work a lot better, but we'll build each one of these up to a reasonable height. In fact, I think we're going to do these to 8 blocks, and we just need to do this 8 times. Now what we're going to do is put all the boilers on, get the shafts attached, and then we'll just attach these together with cogs so they should form one unit. So now we've got the heat sorted, the next thing is water, and I wonder, can you waterlog pumps? You can. Okay, this is good. But with the knowledge we can actually waterlog those pumps, I've got a bit of an idea. So if we make ourselves some frame glass trapdoors, and then create ourselves a little bit of a shelf here, can we get away with just having pumps like this and having this whole thing here as a water reservoir? I wonder. And if we flood all of these, it should just keep flooding into the middle and create an infinite water source here. And then I guess we need to get power to those from up here. I wonder, could we maybe do something like this to get the cogs facing the right way, and then literally just bring them down like that? I don't see why that wouldn't work. In fact, in theory, that should be enough to create passive power if we just get a bit of water into some of these tanks to kickstart it. So if we just create ourselves a little infinite water source down here temporarily, get ourselves some pipes, a couple of cogs, and a hand crank, and let's turn that round the right way. But if we have a look, we can see it's got a tiny bit of heat because these do produce passive heat even when you haven't actually loaded them up with any fuel. The size is good enough, but it doesn't have any water. So in theory, when I start spinning this, once we get enough water in there, it should sort of start pumping all the rest of them. But I don't know. Let's try it out. Keep spinning that. Okay, we got an advancement for the powerhouse. Is it working? It is. Look at that. So that's all going to be self-powered now. So the water's being pulled in from there, which is good. So the levels are quite low at the moment, but if we feed these guys some fuel, I don't really have much of anything, so wood's going to have to do for now. But if, for example, we do this, that should start spinning a lot faster. Yeah, look, the water's climbing up. Awesome. So we do need to sort out a fuel situation for these, and I do have a little bit of a plan for that, which hopefully is going to work. But as long as we don't overstress the system in the meantime, we shouldn't need the Kickstarter anymore. That should just keep running. So, fuel, plan, right. Let's see here. So what we're going to do for fuel is bring it in on a belt this way, store it in a box, and then we're going to have it so that the mechanical arms here can sort of grab it and use it as needed. And then we'll have a secondary conveyor belt going out this way, which we'll need to refill, because we're actually going to be using lava for the fuel. So we need to empty and refill buckets, essentially. And the first thing we need to do to make that happen is to get power down the bottom here. So we'll stick another cog on the end there with a vertical gearbox and many, many shafts. That should do it. So we've got power here, but we need to get it over here into the middle. So let's work out this layout first. So we need a belt on either side. Then we're going to need a barrel there. Lava buckets come in that way. And then if our arms are going to be, for example, there and there, maybe let's use a couple of depots. Although we're going to need to power that. So maybe we're better off moving all of this over a block, getting those depots down. We'll have a couple of funnels there, just so this one can pick up from there and this one can pick up from there. Then they've both always got access. Don't want them getting under each other's feet now. Let's just quickly chuck in these belts so I can see what I'm working with a bit easier. So if we have another barrel there for taking in the empty buckets, so let's put a filter on that one. Eject those onto that belt. And I guess these ones here can just go like that, and then they'll sort of rotate round. As long as we're filling up the empty buckets with lava around here somewhere, that should be fine. But now we need to get power over, and I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to go underground, probably. So let's just dig out a channel here. If we put a vertical gearbox in the top, shafts there. We want another vertical gearbox there. More shafts, normal gearbox. More shafts, a vertical gearbox. Oh, no, that needs to go one over. Let's put that there and connect that up. And apart from the fact the belts are going in the wrong direction, that's perfect. And in theory, that should work. So lava buckets come in here. They get ejected onto the deployers. The mechanical arms are going to pick them up from a deployer and then feed them to one of the blaze burners. And then they'll put the empty bucket in there. That will go back round. Brilliant. Now we just need a whole buttload of lava. So for the lava, we're going to need some massive tanks, I would imagine. Which means I need to smash down a whole load more copper. I need to make a lot more of these. Because I probably want to have a good, 2, maybe 3 tanks here, just rammed full of lava. And then what we'll do, for example, is have a spout there. Get some pipes on, and we'll probably just have that going like that. And then that should keep everything fed. We just need loads and loads of these. So I guess I'm going back to crafting again. There we go, plenty of lava storage. Next problem, lava. Where are we going to get the lava? So we have a couple of options, really. We could do a dripstone lava farm, use cauldrons and pump it all in that way. Or we could do something a little bit different, build a train and grab it from the Nether. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot more fun to me. Now, let me think about this. If we're going to be bringing lava in from the Nether, we're going to need a rail line first off in front of this bit here. So we'll just bring that out to there for now. So the train's going to come in. It will pull into this sort of area. I wonder, we could actually make quite a big building and have it sort of extend out over this side as well, and then have the train actually sort of pull into the building, offload its lava, and then carry on. The problem is, where's it gonna carry on to? I mean, I'm thinking what we could do is literally just send it sort of into the cliff here. So let's just carve a little bit out. Oh, and you may notice as well, the textures are a little bit different. I went on Vanilla Tweaks and just added a few texture packs just for small things like sides on the grass, and the dirt has the occasional bit of sort of gravelly stuff in it. It just helps make it look a little bit nicer. But let's not get distracted with that. Let's get some rail down. And I'll tell you what, it might be worth bringing the old boring train up here, you know? But essentially what we need to do is send it into the mountain, into a nether portal, and then it wants to come out of that nether portal and then come around this way. So we could just do this as a big loop in the mountain, and then that also gives us the freedom to sort of expand upon it, maybe connect it to the one down there at some point in future. So I guess I need to dig a big old circle in the mountain. As long as I can get this first bit of rail down, though, I can just use the train to dig it all out. So for now, I can probably get away with just digging a little 3x2 tunnel here. A short while later, I now have a rail that loops all the way around. We have a tunnel entrance here and another on the other side. Obviously, they need to be made to look better. But this loops round to a big tunnel on the inside. And what we want to do here is put in a portal. So we'll make it a nice big one so the train can fit through just fine. So let's go see where this ends up. Okay, we're on a nether waste. Is there a lava lake? There is. There's one straight down there. Amazing. So that's what we wanted. We wanted infinite lava. This is good, but what we need to do is move our portal. Ideally, we need our portal down here, so we're much closer to the lava. Then we can just grab what we need. Right, so I've got all the rail hooked up. You can see how it's glowing at the edges there. That means it's going to continue on the portal on the other side in the overworld, and I've just got a loop going round. However, we will of course need to build like a little pump system and a lava pump and whatnot. And if we're clever about it and turn on some chunks, what do we got? Okay, so if we were to do it maybe off this edge here somewhere, and as long as we make sure we build everything inside one chunk, what we can do, because we've got FTB chunks here, I can actually just select that and set it to automatically force load. So yeah, this bit will always be loaded. That means when the train comes in, we can still scoop up the lava. Well, the other option actually is potentially we can do it on the inside of the track here. Then we're even more inside the chunk. But we won't worry about this side of things just yet because, well, we haven't even built a train yet, so we don't know how to attach anything, and that means we need to go back to the overworld. I do like the glowy track though, it looks cool. Now we've got all that established, the next step is literally to build the train, I think, because until we get the train, we don't know how we're going to hook everything up to here. And then we're, of course, going to need to do the same thing on the Nether. The only problem with that plan is I don't currently have a plan for this train. So I figured it would be best if we came back here, set up at this station over here, and just kind of built it where we've got access to our full storage area, because I don't really have a clue where to even begin with this. I suppose maybe some train casings would be good. And I think as it's going to be a train that's going to the Nether, we'll go with some darker colours here. But now we know it's possible. Once we have built a train here, at least we can turn it into a contraption and just move it. So let's get this one onto a different line and create a new train. So I guess we'll build the engine first. That makes sense. And I don't want this train to be too big, so maybe just something like that. Why does it always have to rain when I'm trying to record? Dang it. So I think with this one, we're going to try something quite different for the engine style. So maybe something a little bit more pipey. I'm sure that's a real word. And maybe some shafts as well. I need some brackets. So maybe a bracket at the bottom there and one on either side at the top. Then we'll get a whistle at the back here. Just gonna have a little play around with the pipes at the front here. I wonder if we can do something cool. Okay, we're making some progress. I'm liking how this is going so far. Maybe another bracket there. Let's work out the cab area. Well, I'd say for an engine, that's looking pretty good. It's a little bit shorter than our normal ones, but it should work well. Next up, we need to sort out a tender. And we're gonna make heavy use of chutes on this one, I think. All right, looking good. We've got a tender, we've got the train. Now we just need to build the carriage that's actually going to hold the lava. So I'm making some progress with the lava container train over there. We'll have a look in just a moment, but I need some more iron sheets because I'm actually using plows for the roof here. So if we just stick a few more of these on, I'll show you where we're at, but it's looking very lava-y, very nethery. I like it so far. So let's get these on. Oh, I need one more. There we go. And I'm thinking literally something as simple as that for the lava train. I don't think it needs to be any more. We've just got 2 containers on there that are going to take in all the lava, and then we've just got some supports and beams and other pipes and bits on it. Nothing too splashy, but it should work nicely, and it really does look nice with the whole train. But in order to load up the lava, we need to make some things that I don't have. I don't even know how to make them, actually. And it is these portable fluid interfaces. And these work the same way as the item ones do on the other trains, but they transport fluid. It's kind of in the name, I guess. So if we just put one of these on the top of each tank, although technically I think it doesn't matter where on the train I put these, but I'd like to do it from above for this, I think. And other than a seat and some train controls, and rain again, classic. But once we get a seat and some train controls in, we're good to go. So train controls there, and a seat here. Now I just need to glue the whole thing together. Okay, I think I've stuck it all. But then I've also said that before many times in the past and left bits of my train behind. So let's see, shall we? And as usual with my amazing naming, we shall call this the lava train. Oh, we've already got a driver. You're keen. Get out of it. Right, let's see how much we've left behind. Oh, hello. We didn't leave anything behind. That's a first. Right, so let's get this parked up, disassemble it again, and then we'll turn it into a contraption. Let's just grab it from here. So has that just got the one carriage? It would appear so. Okay, I guess we're doing this 3 times. Not a problem. Now let's go get this train in position, and we can see what we're working with over at the power plant. So first test, should we drive this into the Nether? Let's see how this works. I think it goes well. Okay, so how does this work? Whoa. Right, okay, so we're literally in the Nether and I've just run over a load of piggos. They don't seem angry with me though, this is good. And then, oh that's cool, the way it sort of disappears. It seems to disconnect us from the contraption controls every time we go through, but that's okay, it'll be a mob in here soon. So if we were to have the station here somewhere, then we can grab lava out of that pool there. I think that'll be the best bet. But let's sort out the overworld first. So, same thing, I guess. We need to figure out where about we want the platform to be. Or where the station needs to be, I should say. Right, so if that's where we're feeding stuff into, maybe I should work out where the building's going to go first, and then figure out where the train's going to go. That'll probably make more sense. Let's just get this out of the way for now. So first things first, I should probably lay out the other half of the foundation if we're having this as an indoor thing, and then figure out the shape of the building. There's every chance you're about to see a beardy time-lapse while I build this. Well, we've still got a way to go, but we're certainly making some progress. I'm loving how this is coming together so far, although maybe we should get some windows in the roof here. I think that would be quite good. But most importantly, I've worked out where the train station needs to be. It's actually kind of sticking out right out the front here. We will relocate the actual box. But that means we've been able to line up the pipes over here as well, and they're going to go into 2 fluid tanks here and here, and then that's going to spread out into the other 4. We're just going to have lots and lots of lava, all being ready to be fed down there. My hope is that we can get lots and lots stored up, and then when the train comes back at some point, it's only going to leave this station if it's empty. So yeah, it will mean at some point the train will stop going round and round, but then it will set off again just when it's empty. And I think that's going to be the best way to do this. So we've still got a bit of work to do. As you can see, I do need to get myself some more of these fluid tanks. We've run out again. And I need to sort out the rest of this interior here as well. And lastly, I've also got a display board up here. So we're going to use this to sort of read how much power we've got coming through, how much we're using, how much we've got in total. And we're probably also going to read a couple of the lava tanks, just so we know a little bit about what's going on with the lava. But before we do any of that, these doors, I want to try something with these doors. So if we make ourselves a mechanical bearing and grab ourselves one of these valves, and then glue this door together, so up to there. So I don't want this to be a fully automated door or anything, but what I would like to do, if possible, let's put that on the right way round. What I would like to do is just have the door, you know, slightly ajar. So let's just change the angle here. Set this to only place when the anchor is destroyed, and something like that. Look at that, we've just got a door on the wonk. Perfect. I think that's exactly how I want it. I don't want the doors to be opening and closing all the time, and I think that just gives it a little bit more life. So next job, I need to get some more tanks, and then we need to get all of this piped up and connected. And then we need to go into the Nether and make sure we can actually collect the lava as well. So yeah, we've got a few jobs to do here, but I do want to get the factory up and working. It's not a factory, it's a power station. So I made a bunch of copper sheets and barrels to get more tanks, added a few pipes and some power, and got everything in the overworld ready to accept, store, and use lava. I then made a couple of hose pulleys and a few other bits and bobs and headed to the Nether to create a lava collection point for the train. Surrounding it in a small framework and setting the train station, I was able to get this lava pumping into the train in no time. So I grabbed the driver, set a schedule, and waited patiently to see if my lava train would ever return. Oh, here it comes. And it has some lava. Amazing. It works. I just need to send it there for longer. There we go. Excellent. So we should now have lava in here, which we do. Now here comes the big test. If we put buckets in here, they're going to come out. Hopefully they should fill up with lava, get picked up by the arms, and then we should start seeing more power over here. Right, here we go. Are the arms going to do their thing? Looks like it, and they should speed up once they start getting a bit of power. Oh, look at that. Instantly speeding up. And they're depositing the empty buckets. Amazing. We have power. And that should just keep going round and round as long as we have lava. But the train should bring loads on its next visit, hopefully. So the next thing I want to do is to get this board working, displaying all the information. But for that, we're gonna need to go back to our starter base because I need to go get some things that we don't have here. What we're gonna do is make ourselves a couple of stressometers and make ourselves some of these. And then what we're going to do is remove those. So we've got the 2 stressometers in, and the reason there's 2 is because I want to display a reasonable amount of information on there, and I need more space. And having 2 just makes that easier, so let's get round behind them. So in fact, I think I'm actually going to do the lava storage ones first. So with these, we're going to go around the back here. We'll stick one on there, and one on there. Connect to the display link. We're going to be doing a lot of running around here for a minute. Put it on this one here. And if we put lava tank 1 percentage fill line, I think that will work nicely. That should be displaying on there, but it's not. Oh, I haven't connected it yet. Well, that was silly of me. There we go. Now let's just do the same for the other 2 tanks here. So next up, we're going to do the network stress ones. So we'll have available stress first with the remaining stress capacity. And we'll have another line showing how much we've used. And look at that, we do actually have just over 500,000 stress units. And then we'll also add total capacity to the bottom, so the network as a whole has 524,000. That's awesome. And it looks like the lava's pumping, so our tank is going up. It's amazing to see all this working. But you may notice I'm also pumping lava into these tanks over here. And my thinking is we could actually... Wow, there's actually loads over here. But my thinking is we could actually use this one as somewhere else for trains to come and get lava to take it for use elsewhere. So a general lava storage facility as well as a power plant. Anyway, back to the sign. Let's do a quick bit of color coding. And I need my clipboard, which I believe, yep, there it is. I stuck it on the wall. So now we've got all of this working. The last thing we need to do around here is, well, tidy up and make things look a little bit nicer. This track looks horrible. The tunnel entrances look pretty rough, let's be honest. And although the outside's starting to look good, it still doesn't actually look good. And I think I'm just about done, for now at least. So I've got it embedded in the landscape a little bit better. I've just put some fences up around the outside for now. I don't know if I'm going to sort of add anything into this area or if this is going to end up being a footpath that links into other buildings, so I've just kind of left them empty for now. I've also got the inside here finished, and we've actually been here so long, we've filled up all of the lava tanks, and the train's not offloading anymore, which means it's no longer going to the Nether, but as soon as we burn through some, it will of course resume its course. But I've also framed out the inside here a little bit, added some brackets and things like that, and just generally tidied up. On the outside, I've added a few signals, which to be honest, this is the only train on this line, so they're not really needed, but they do add a little something, I think. And not only that, I've also sorted out the tunnels. They don't go all the way through just yet, I just don't have enough clay, but once we get this place up and running, we should be able to solve that. And you may also notice I've done a little bit of landscaping as well. I just cleared out a few more of the village buildings. All the villagers are being packed down here into this fenced area at the moment. It's fine, they're perfectly safe, they've got some guards. I mean, they've survived so far, so I'm sure it's fine. But that's going to give us some nice areas to work with on our upcoming projects. Now that we've got the power plant in, we should be able to power everything we need. We have all the power. But sadly, that's all we've got time for in this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.